Alright, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I have already covered 40 hidden secrets for The Witcher 3, so let's go ahead and get into another video of 10 hidden secrets for The Witcher 3 that you probably didn't know about. This episode of 10 hidden secrets has a few really big and elaborate ones, so this video may be a bit longer than normal, but the last secret in this video is one that no one has even thought of, not even CD Projekt Red themselves. And you'll see what I mean if you wait until the end of the video. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit the glowing like button below the video. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you completed the side quest Carnal Sins, where you investigate Priscilla's would-be murderer and the death of Patricia Vegelbud before attending the ball at the Vegelbud estate with Triss during a matter of life and death? When investigating Priscilla's attacker, a new victim will appear in the morgue, and when performing the autopsy, you'll find a note revealing who the next victim will be. When discovering that Patricia Vegelbud is the next victim, the conversation usually goes something like this.
Patricia Vegelbud.
Do you know her?
Yes. Even went to her estate once with...
But now that we are doing Carnal Sins before helping Triss, we haven't been to the Vegelbud estate yet, so the coroner has to tell you who Patricia Vegelbud is, which also foreshadows his knowledge of the killer's next victim, as the coroner is later revealed in the quest to be the real killer.
Patricia Vegelbud.
Gods, he knows no bounds. To attack Lady Vegelbud, heiress of such a prominent family.
Where is she? Tell me.
She resides in an estate beyond the city, north of Oxenford.
Arriving at the Vegelbud estate also changes when you play Carnal Sins first. Normally, she will recognize you and be glad to see you.
Oh, Geralt, what a pleasant surprise.
Not pleasant at all. I gotta see your mother. Her life's in danger.
In danger? Come now, I saw Mother this morning. She seemed sad, true, but in perfect health.
And when doing Carnal Sins first, the conversation goes like this.
Yes, good fellow? If it's work you seek.
Don't know that I'm all that good. Name's Geralt. Looking for Patricia Vegelbud. Her life's in danger.
In danger? Come now, I saw Mother this morning. She seemed sad, true, but in perfect health.
Now once you finally finish Carnal Sins, you can work alongside Triss and meet with the Vegelbud's assistant, and in doing so, you'll actually be able to ask the servant about how Ingrid is doing after her mother's death.
Has Ingrid recovered from her mother's death?
How'd you know about that?
Took an interest in the matter.
Well, Lady Ingrid didn't allow herself to demonstrate any weakness, at least not in front of the help. Master Albert's safety is what matters to her now.
Shortly after you make your way to the Vegelbud estate with Triss and meet up with Ingrid to discuss her son's excursion to Novigrad, she will actually recognize you, but now she will be very optimistic about your abilities to safely escort Albert away from the witch hunters.
I think we've met before.
Oh, you're... Indeed. Well, I must say I feel reassured Albert will be in good hands.
One of the most annoying things in The Witcher 2, but also one of the most entertaining things in The Witcher 2, is the quest that involves Odrin. You see, Odrin is a complete drunk that you have to pretty much carry around a rather large Kedwini camp looking for his drunk friends. Let me just say, I just know these guys are an absolute hoot to hang around with. But you can also find Odrin in The Witcher 3. Over by the Redanian checkpoint on the Pontar, you can approach the notice board and find a notice from Odrin that mentions his absolute amazing drinking habits. You can also head over to these docks in Novigrad, and behind this shack you can find Odrin himself, who has completely drank himself into a stupor. Next to him you'll also find an unmarked merchant who will sell all of Odrin's empty bottles. That's a lot of empty bottles, even for my standards. When you first begin a new game in The Witcher 3, you are met with the trail opening cinematic, which shows Geralt and Vesemir following Yennefer's trail through the recently war-torn northern Temeria, which leads you directly into the very start of the game. The tree you start the game at is actually right at the edge of the battlefield, but this is where things get really interesting. You can actually walk this battlefield yourself and find details that reference the opening cinematic, such as the head of Yennefer's horse that was severed by a Nilfgaardian. You can also find a collection of books and other items that were dropped by Yennefer in the opening cinematic. At the end of the cinematic, you can even see Yennefer's bird turn into a crystal and fall to the ground. Well, right next to the beginning tree, you can actually find this crystal as a hidden item, and if you hold on to it until you have the chance to freely talk with Yennefer, you can actually give her the skull back and trigger a unique conversation.
Found something that might belong to you. That skull some sort of accessory? If so, you've changed your style a bit.
It's a weapon.
Don't remember ever seeing you with that?
It's as you said. I've changed my style.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if you killed Morkvarg and found Skjall's body inside Freya's garden before helping Yennefer and Skellige? The side quest called In Wolf's Closing is one quest that is overly hated for, I guess, being too difficult. However, this quest involves you finding a werewolf named Morkvarg and either lifting his curse or finding a way to kill him. The easy choice is to just kill Morkvarg, then looting the werewolf meat from his corpse, fast forward a few hours, defeat Morkvarg again, and then feed him his own meat. While you're here, you can also go ahead and travel through the rest of Freya's garden and find Skjall's body down underneath where you would normally find him during the main story with Yennefer. Investigating his body will trigger a unique monologue.
Untouched. No sign of feeding. Morkvarg doesn't devour his victims. Strange.
Once you help Yennefer track Ciri to Hindarsfjall, you'll interrupt a group of Skelligers participating in a ceremony, where they will tell you about Skjall going up to Freya's garden to kill Morkvarg and how he has not returned. But if you already took care of Morkvarg, this will trigger a unique dialogue with the villagers.
This Morkvarg, half man, half wolf,
Yes,
won't bother you anymore. Already killed it.
I know. Craven went there before you, but has yet to return.
Didn't see him in the garden. Doesn't bode well. Don't know if there's much point in going there.
When traveling up to Freya's garden with Yennefer, she will also strike up an entirely new and much more polite conversation with you.
You didn't mention your heroic battle with this Morkvarg character?
You know me. Don't like to take my work home.
I'm afraid you don't like home. The very concept of it. I asked you once to move to Vengerberg for me. Remember? Was that ever a row?
Yeah. Those were the days.
Tamira is popular for being one of the best herbalists in the entire game, and for having a massive fart box, but many people don't know what happens to her after the Northern War ends. If you let Radovid win the war by not participating in the quest to protect democracy by assassinating him, and get the epilogue where Ciri becomes a witcheress, you'll be back in White Orchard. However, when you're going to pick up Ciri's sword, you will be able to see a pyre of smoke in the distance, and this will actually be Tamira's house, where you'll be able to see witch hunters burning her at the stake, which will start a mini side quest to save her life. And this is only available if you let Radovid win the war.
Thank you.
Wounds need a look.
I'll manage now.
Hunters could come back.
I'll not wait round for them.
Good luck.
I could use it.
The Netflix show that wants to pretend that it's an adaptation of The Witcher even though it's clearly something else entirely has a habit of treating my boy Henry Cavill so dirty. CD Projekt Red on the other hand would never disrespect my boy like that. If you head over to the Devil's Pit in Velen, you will find a side quest where you head into the haunted mine, look for a long dead witcher, defeat a monster known as the Red Miasmal, and collect the diagrams for the Netflix Witcher armor. Now if you don't sacrifice the priest, then return to the Devil's Pit a few days later, you will see that the Devil's Pit has been turned into a refugee center, and inside the Devil's Pit you can find a cute little doggo named Cal. This is actually a reference to Henry Cavill's dog, which he named Cal after his Superman role. Anyways, while searching for Ciri's whereabouts in Velen, you'll end up meeting with the Bloody Baron, and then meeting with a Peller who is currently being shook down by a couple of the Baron's men. You see, they are upset because the Peller gave their friend Edric a remedy for his constipation. But the thing about constipation remedies, if you don't get the dosage absolutely perfect, you're going to be in for a bad time. So Edric is now spending all of his time in the outhouse due to having the inability to hold in his bowels. But if you head over to Crow's Perch, there will actually be an outhouse behind the castle, where you will find Edric sharding his brains out.
Don't waste your time. We've all been going in the bushes these last days.
Now there is a side quest in Blood and Wine that I absolutely love called Equine Phantoms. This quest has you get high off your rockers and start tripping absolute balls in order to see an Umbra specter that's tormenting a local hermit. The highlight of this quest is that your horse actually speaks to you and you have a bunch of hilarious and interesting conversations with her. But the entire point of this quest is that horses are intelligent and marvelous creatures. Now Equine Phantoms actually has a secret ending. If you start the quest up to the point where you take the hermit's special brew, then straight up leave the area completely, the quest will actually fail. But when you return to the area after the quest has been failed, you'll find out that the horse actually stayed and completed the contract all by herself, showing just how amazing these horses truly are.
I thank you for your help so much.
But I didn't do anything.
I was talking to Roach. Your horse helped me. Told me my tormentor was a friend who had passed recently. Failing to find peace in the afterlife, he'd returned as a specter.
Roach solved your problem herself?
That's right, and quickly. Oh, now she asks that I convey to you her regards.
Thanks.
When playing the Hearts of Stone DLC, you'll eventually end up imprisoned on an Ophiri ship, and Gontharo Dim will tell you to meet him at the crossroads at midnight. Then he will conjure up a storm and crash the ship. But instead of meeting Gontharo Dim at the crossroads, you can go straight back to Olgierd, where you will be stopped by Gontharo Dim, which will trigger some unique dialogue.
Must say I'm surprised.
By what?
We were to meet at the crossroads, yet you show up here.
Frankly, I was afraid you'd give me another memento.
Interesting. I helped you find Yennefer. Then I made possible your escape, so you ought to feel grateful. Even the worst scum feel an inner compunction to repay their debts of gratitude. But not you.
I was subjected to mutations, stripped me of all kinds of human compunctions.
Interesting bit of information. We shall have to discuss it at length later. For now, you must tell me how you managed with your theories.
Afterwards, the conversation carries on like normal, but it's cool that CD Projekt Red planned for this. Finally is something that I'm pretty sure no one else has thought of, not even CD Projekt Red. There is a questline in Blood and Wine called Wine Wars, where you have to clear out a total of 3 different vineyards of infestations, adding up to a total of 15 locations that you have to clear. This is a commonly disliked quest within the community, as it seems pretty tedious and mundane, as you essentially have to clear out a total of 15 unmarked question marks. However, if you happen to clear all of the Belgard infestations before clearing the other vineyards, and unlock the Belgard Wine Wars quest, something pretty interesting actually happens. This is not something that one could typically do without great effort, as the Belgard sites are not visible on the map until after the start of the Belgard Wine Wars quest. But if you happen to find and clear every Belgard site before unlocking the quest, when you travel with the others to the Belgard site, you just completely skip over the cutscene and jump straight to the final cutscene of the quest, which obviously doesn't make much sense when you think about it. So I don't think CD Projekt Red really planned for anyone to actually do this, but it's still cool to see that it didn't end up breaking the game. Anyways, that was 10 hidden secrets in The Witcher 3 that you probably didn't know about. If you want to see more RPG related content, then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video.